Now, I don't know if you know this, but we are just hours away from the annual observance of Memorial Day. That's when we honor those of our nation's military who went to war to fight for our families and our freedom, but who never came home to their families, nor got to live their lives in the very freedom that they provided for the rest of us. Let us never forget their sacrifice, even amidst this long weekend of baseball, barbecue, and the beach. But instead, take a few moments to soberly reflect on what they gave up. And yet, it's precisely because they gave the last full measure to protect and preserve our great nation that we have to demand that those who violate the freedoms that we hold dear, if they violate them, they've got to be held accountable. Because to do any less would dishonor the sacrifice of our service members. In the course of the past few weeks, a very important trial has been held in Washington, D.C., right in the shadow of the major media of the world. But quite frankly, very few have even mentioned it, much less actually covered it. And why would they? It actually reveals just how complicit the media has been in lying to you, to me, and the entire country. And it affirms that journalism is indeed dead. And the major networks and the newspapers have ceased to be fact seekers. They have tragically become fact deniers. You know, they reacted pretty harshly when they were called the enemy of the people. But to know the truth, however painful and inconvenient it may be, and to fail to tell the people the truth, and instead knowingly perpetuate a lie, well, that is to become the people's enemy. It's what they are. And certainly to become the enemy of our great republic. Now, with the exception of a few outlets, the media has pretended that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians to subvert our country. But as the sworn testimony in the trial of Hillary Clinton lawyer Michael Sussmann has uncovered, the collusion was from those who intentionally lied about Donald Trump and who knowingly fed false information to the FBI, which led to millions of tax dollars of investigations, chest-pounding politicians like Adam Schiff, flagrantly lying about having evidence that never existed, and the collapse of confidence in the FBI. It became clear that the media were willing participants in the crime of defrauding the FISA court to investigate Donald Trump. But the preponderance of evidence against Michael Sussmann may not mean conviction. Hate to say it. I mean, let's look at some things. The judge in the case is a longtime Democrat operative. His wife is the attorney for former FBI agent Lisa Page, who sorted an unethical love affair with fellow FBI agent Peter Strzok, produced thousands of revealing text exchanges. Now, at least one of the jurors was a financial contributor to Hillary Clinton, yet still got seated on the jury. A couple of others expressed their absolute disdain for Donald Trump. And at least one of the jurors is said to have only pledged to try to be objective. But the truth coming out of the trial is going to leave little to the imagination. Even former Clinton campaign manager Robbie Mook testified under oath that Hillary herself did in fact know about the attempt to smear Trump and personally okayed it. So much for the nonsense that she didn't know anything about it. Also, kudos to Special Counsel John Durham. His methodical, albeit slow approach is beginning to pay off as new information continues to surface as to just how corrupt the D.C. sewer really is. The brave men who gave their lives in the battlefield didn't die so that taxpayer-funded officials would betray the trust of the people by trying to prevent a candidate from being elected, and once elected, then trying to destroy and discredit him. No, these are the folks who died to sustain a nation of laws, not a nation of lawbreakers. You know, there are really two battlefields we need to remember this Memorial Day weekend. The one on which our heroes died defending our freedom, and then the other one, the one in the courtrooms, Congress, and in our state and U.S. capitals, where the battle for the soul of our nation is raging. Our servicemen and women have given their lives to protect the rights of the rest of us, to make sure that we don't lose on the battlefields that we're fighting here at home. I say to all of those who serve us in uniform, God bless you and God bless America.